Maria and welcome to SG Global News. From the conviction of a 64-year-old pro-life activist in UK under the country's controversial buffer zone law to the 19 inmates at Winfield Correctional Facility who are set to join the church, we have many stories to cover. A UK court has convicted 64-year-old pro-life activist Livia Tosici-Bolt under the country's controversial buffer zone law, sparking international debate over freedom of expression. Tosici-Bolt, affiliated with US-based group 40 Days for Life, was arrested for holding a sign that read, "Here to talk if you want," near an abortion clinic in Bournemouth. Her conviction has drawn criticism from US officials and advocacy groups who warn that the case could have broader diplomatic and human rights implications.
A UK court has convicted an elderly pro-life activist under the country's buffer zone law, despite warnings from the United States that such actions could have far-reaching diplomatic implications. 64-year-old Livia Tosici-Bolt, the leader of a local branch of the US-based Christian pro-life organization 40 Days for Life, was prosecuted for allegedly breaching buffer zone restrictions on 2 occasions in March 2023 near a clinic in Bournemouth. She was arrested for holding a sign that read, "Here to talk if you want." A 2022 order had established a buffer zone around the British Pregnancy Advisory Service clinic in Bournemouth, banning any form of protest in the vicinity due to concerns that women attending the clinic were facing harassment and intimidation. Tosici-Bolt was charged for violating this order and for refusing to pay a fixed penalty fine. Her case drew attention in the United States over concerns related to freedom of speech. During the Munich Security Conference, US Vice President J.D. Vance had criticized European countries, particularly the UK, for allegedly suppressing free expression. He singled out buffer zone laws that allow for the prosecution of peaceful pro-life demonstrators, including those who simply pray outside abortion facilities. On Sunday, the US State Department's Bureau of Democracy, Human Rights and Labor posted on X that it was monitoring Tosici-Bolt's case. The department also urged the UK government to uphold and protect freedom of expression. However, Judge Ola Austin of Poole Magistrates Court found Tosici-Bolt guilty of breaching the order, ruling that her actions did not constitute a lawful exercise of free speech. The Italian-origin retired medical scientist received a conditional discharge and was ordered not to commit any further offences for a 2-year period. Additionally, she was directed to pay £20,000 in court costs and a £26 victim surcharge. Alliance Defending Freedom, a Christian legal advocacy group supporting Tosici-Bolt, condemned the ruling, stating it marked a dark day for Great Britain. This marks the second conviction under the UK's buffer zone laws. In November 2023, 51-year-old physiotherapist and army veteran Adam Smith-Corner was also prosecuted for silently praying within 50 meters of an abortion clinic.
Bishop Robert Barron of the Diocese of Vienna-Rochester joined pro-life activists in a prayer vigil outside a Planned Parenthood facility in Rochester, Minnesota, sharing the event on social media to encourage continued advocacy for the unborn. Accompanied by seminarians, parishioners, and members of 40 Days for Life campaign, the bishop's presence at the prayer service was a powerful witness to the sanctity of life for those passing by.
Bishop Robert Barron of the Diocese of Winona-Rochester joined a group of pro-life activists on Friday evening to pray outside a Planned Parenthood facility in Rochester, Minnesota. The bishop shared photos of the prayer vigil on his social media platforms, encouraging continued prayer for the protection of the unborn and an end to the injustice of abortion. He was accompanied by seminarians, parishioners, and members of the 40 Days for Life campaign, a grassroots pro-life initiative that organizes peaceful prayer vigils outside abortion facilities around the world. Bishop Barron, founder of Word on Fire Catholic Ministries, has long been active in the pro-life movement. He has frequently participated in prayer vigils outside abortion clinics and spoken publicly on the sanctity of human life. In February, Bishop Barron joined Bishop Daniel E. Thomas of the Diocese of Toledo, who also serves as chairman of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops Committee on Pro-Life Activities, in issuing a joint statement condemning abortion and exposing the evils of in vitro fertilization. In the statement, the bishops affirmed that every human person is a precious gift with infinite dignity and worth, and emphasized the moral responsibility to defend the dignity of those who are never given the chance to be born.
2 wooden Calvary crosses were found destroyed on April 1st near the historic church of Santa Maria di Alto in Paterno, Sicily, in what authorities suspect was an act of vandalism. The crosses, as part of a long-standing Lenten tradition evoking Christ's passion, were shattered after being toppled from a hill near the church. The incident has sparked sorrow and outrage in the local community, prompting a police investigation, a public call to repentance from Bishop Luigi Reina, and a prayer vigil attended by hundreds.
On April 1st, 2 of 3 wooden crosses displayed on the hill leading to the historic church of Santa Maria dell'Alto in Paterno, Sicily, were knocked down and broken by unidentified vandals. The crosses, which fell from a height of over 6 feet, were completely destroyed. Mounting crosses on this hill, located in the yard of the church of Santa Maria dell'Alto, is an age-old tradition. Evocative of Calvary, the crosses are erected every year as a reminder of Christ's passion. Faithful parishioners were shocked to discover that 2 of them had been destroyed overnight. Mayor Nino Nasso, along with local police and the Carabinieri, arrived at the scene and launched an investigation into the incident. Bishop Luigi Reina of the Diocese of Catania expressed sorrow over the act and invited the community of Paterno to take part in a penitential procession and prayer of reparation. In a statement, the bishop said he trusts the authorities handling the investigation and remains hopeful that the full truth will come to light. He further wrote, "I appeal to the conscience of those who, through blindness and lack of reverence for the symbol of our salvation and Christ's love for humanity, committed this act, that they may repent and believe." Father Salvatore Ali, foreign vicar of the 12th Vicariate to which the Church of Santa Maria dell'Alto belongs, shared a heartfelt message following the destruction. In a video addressed to the public, he said, "These crosses bother no one. They don't shout, they don't offend. They are signs of hope, of faith, and of love." He continued, "But there are those who can't even tolerate this, who want to erase everything, even the simplest symbols of Christianity." The priest added that faith cannot be knocked down by knocking over a cross. The Church of Santa Maria dell'Alto, founded in 1072, holds deep historical significance. Following the devastating earthquake of 1693, it was entirely rebuilt in the Baroque style. Its current facade and interior are more recent additions. In 1915, the basilica was merged with the Church of the Santissima Annunziata under a single parish by the Curia of Catania, thereby losing its title as Mother Church. After a prolonged period of closure, the church was finally reopened to the public in 1992. On the night of April 4th, a prayer service was held at the church in reparation for the senseless act of vandalism. Hundreds took part in the procession and in the prayer held on the hill.
Christians gathered outside Norwood Primary School to protest the cancellation of Easter service by head teacher Stephanie Mander, who made the decision to respect diverse religious beliefs. The school had sent a letter to parents and carers informing them that neither the Easter bonnet parade nor the Easter service would take place this year. However, many parents reacted with anger, prompting the school to clarify that Easter would still be celebrated with lessons and assemblies dedicated to teaching the children about it. Christian protesters have gathered outside Norwood Primary School, which recently scrapped Easter celebration to respect diverse religious beliefs. The faithful gathered outside the school and protested against the head teacher, Stephanie Mander. The protesters held banner which read, quote, "Head teacher Stephanie Mander wants to cancel Easter. Let's cancel her," end quote. The school sent letter to parents and carers informing them that neither their Easter bonnet parade nor their Easter service would be held this year. The original announcement by head teacher Mander read, quote, "By not holding specific religious celebrations, we aim to celebrate a more inclusive atmosphere that honors and respects the beliefs of all our children and their families," end quote. Norwood Primary School is a mixed primary school of pupils aged between 3 and 11, and it has no religious affiliation. But many parents reacted with fury, which forced the school to clarify that Easter will be celebrated, with children being taught about it in lessons and assemblies and taking part in Easter-themed craft activities. The group of Christian protesters from the Living Word Church, based in Farnham, Hampshire, held England flags with the words "Jesus, the way of truth, the life," and Jesus' skin printed on them outside the school. Some of the protesters wore headbands with bunny ears on them. Reverend Chris Wickland said that the protest was against the school cancelling Easter service and what he called the exclusion of Christianity in schools.
What we are is we're standing up for something we're seeing the demise of in Western civilization. You have schools right here to educate children because of Christianity. It's monasteries that gave you schools.
Nick Tenconi, the leader of UKIP, attended the Christians' protest as a member of Disciples of Christ and said that Christianity is being put aside so that head teachers can tick a diversity box to receive more money. In response to the protest by Christian parents, a group of 10 parents took up position in front of the school gates as a counter protest to the Christians gathered on the opposite side of the road. The Christian protesters prayed and packed up by 3:15 p.m. before the school day ended. The spokesperson of Hampshire Police stated that officers from the local neighborhood policing team and the protest liaison team were on the site and they worked closely with organizers to minimize any disruption to local residents and the school. Nearly 20 inmates at Winfield Correctional Facility are set to join the church following a 3-day Catholic retreat organized by Catholic Diocese of Wichita and Colby Prison Ministries. The retreat sought to educate those unfamiliar with Catholic faith while renewing and inspiring Catholic participants and encouraging them to embrace and reaffirm their commitment as disciples of Christ. In a first-of-its-kind event at the Catholic Diocese of Wichita, Colby Prison Ministries organized a retreat at the Winfield Correctional Facility from February 28 to March 2nd. 48 retreatants and 2 stewards were warmly welcomed by smiling volunteers who traveled from Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas City, and Wichita. The retreat aimed to educate those unfamiliar with Catholic faith and to renew and inspire Catholic participants, encouraging them to embrace or reaffirm their commitment as disciples of Christ. With the help of Father Clay Kimbrough, who serves Mass for the residents of Winfield Correctional Facility under St. Dismas, and with the blessings of Bishop Kemme, the Colby team began planning the retreat in September 2024. The retreatants participated in table discussions and received close attention due to a format in which participants sat at tables with 6 retreatants and 3 volunteers. During the retreat, the retreatants began a transformation as they recognized their status as the children of God who loves them no matter what they have done. This is often easy for prisoners to forget, as incarceration can prompt feelings of marginalization and insignificance. The retreatants also engaged in question-answer sessions with the volunteers during the Bible study. At the culmination of the 3-day retreat, 19 prisoners signed up to attend the Order of Christian Initiation for adults and Bible classes. Following the retreat, a Mass was held at Winfield Correction Facility on March 4th with a total of 36 people in attendance, including a volunteer and a priest. The retreat sparked a revival among the inmates, as it was their first time learning about the Catholic faith. Additionally, some inmates who were raised Catholic but had never fully embraced the faith are now seeking to reconnect and renew their commitment. That's all for today. Until we meet again, God bless and thank you.